By every military calculation, Judas Maccabeus should have lost. His fighters were farmers. The enemy fielded professional soldiers. His men carried simple weapons. The Seleucid army marched behind a wall of 21-foot pikes that had crushed kingdoms across the ancient world. Yet somehow, the empire kept losing. Not because Judas built a bigger army, but because he refused to fight the empire on its own terms. This is the Maccabean Dossier, a forensic investigation into how terrain, mobility, and decentralized leadership dismantled one of the most sophisticated military machines of the ancient world. The Greek Phalanx was the battlefield juggernaut of the ancient world. Disciplined infantry advanced shoulder to shoulder. Each soldier carried a Sarissa nearly 21 feet long. 5 ranks of spear points projected forward before an enemy could even reach the first shield. On open ground, few armies survived a direct collision. This wasn't simply superior weaponry, it was a military system. Rigid, disciplined, built for predictable battlefields. Judas understood one thing. If he fought where the Seleucids were strongest, the revolt would end in a single afternoon. Instead of meeting the Phalanx where it wanted to fight, Judas disappeared into the mountains. The ascent of Beth Horon had served as the gateway from the coastal plain into the Judean highlands for centuries. Limestone ridges, hairpin passes, steep ravines, ground that forced large formations to stretch apart. Judas waited. He let the column climb. He let the formation stretch. He let the phalanx lose its shape. Then he struck from elevated ground, from multiple directions. Small groups attacked, then disappeared back into the hills. The long pikes became difficult to maneuver. Commands traveled slowly. Units lost visual contact. The phalanx never had room to fully deploy. Judas had turned the mountains into a weapon. The next lesson came at Emmaus. The Seleucid commander expected Judas to attack the main army. Instead, Judas vanished during the night, while the Seleucid army searched empty hills. Judas was already marching toward something far more valuable, their camp at dawn. His fighters struck, weapons, food, supply wagons, equipment, everything the army depended upon. By the time the Seleucid forces returned, their base was burning. Confusion spread. Order collapsed. The army still existed. Its ability to fight effectively did not. Judas never attacked the empire's greatest strength. He attacked the infrastructure that made that strength possible. The predictable movement, the layered command, the logistics an army that size couldn't function without. If you've noticed how often geography decides the outcome in this investigation, Joshua's mountain passes, and now Judas's ridges at Beth Horon, that pattern started earlier than either of them. The Exodus to Conquest Master Dossier is where it begins. The wind dynamics behind the Red Sea crossing, the scorched summit at the real Mount Sinai, the mud brick collapse at Jericho. Link in the description. Step back and the pattern becomes clear. The Seleucid Empire trusted centralized power, professional armies, massive logistics, military bureaucracy. Judas trusted something different: mobility, local knowledge, terrain. The empire possessed greater numbers, greater armor, greater wealth. The resistance possessed greater adaptability. History remembered him by the nickname Maccabeus, the Hammer. Not because he was stronger than the empire, but because he knew exactly where its hidden weaknesses lay. Power is strongest where it's flexible, and most vulnerable the moment it becomes predictable. The Seleucid Empire never learned that lesson. Judas never let them. The battles were being won. The occupiers were retreating, but one objective remained: not territory, but worship itself. The temple still stood desecrated. The altar still bore the scars of Antiochus' defilement. In our final file of the Maccabean Dossier, we'll investigate how the sanctuary was reclaimed, purified, and rededicated, an event remembered to this day as Hanukkah. The next file is already being prepared.